Scorpion invading our timeline also lost his wife and son to Quan Chi's murderous machinations. Consumed by grief, he searched them all to find another Harumi with whom he could rebuild his family. But in timeline after timeline, he arrived too late. Harumi was already dead. When Scorpion reached ours, he was crushed to find that, though alive, Harumi was wedded to Kuai Liang. Thwarted yet again, Scorpion's frustration exploded into rage. He has vowed to burn this entire timeline. If he cannot have Harumi, no one will. Denied his family, his clan, and now his vengeance, Scorpion blazes with demonic fury. He will inflict it on all of his tormentors. Even though defeated, Scorpion remained consumed by rage. He was a clear and present danger to all timelines. But I knew that it would take compassion, not combat, to calm his fury. Using the hourglass, I found a timeline that Scorpion could not. One which had an unattached Harumi. This Harumi is unlike any other. Having lost her Hanzo to that timeline's Quan Chi, it is she who has become Scorpion. Bonding over their shared grief, Hanzo and Harumi join forces to defeat evil in her timeline. It is not just Quan Chi who should fear these Scorpion's stings. The Natara who now vexes us is from one of the few timelines where Veternians. When they discovered other timelines, and the failure of Veternians within them to flourish, this Nitara's Veternians mobilized for war. They planned to liberate every timeline's vampires and set them on a path to conquest. If they are not vanquished, they will enslave all beings to Veternis. The Veternians from this other timeline make ours look almost incompetent. They fight harder, smarter, and with unbelievable skill. This new Nitara and her ilk will surely test your might. Though they claim to be superior beings, Natara and her timeline's Veternians proved anything but. They foolishly underestimated the tenacity and skill of this timeline's warriors. And while we have lost many, they are sadly not this war's greatest victims. Those are the ones who were enslaved by a pestiferous Veternian bite, and who, unless aided, will be condemned to languish in an excruciating, eternal twilight. To help them, I traveled to a timeline where Veternians work for good, not ill. They graciously shared their unique expertise, undoing the dark magic that had befallen my champions. Now, their souls and their lives have been restored. Their safe return is indeed a blessing. The Sub-Zero who attacks us wishes nothing less than to transform our timeline into a frozen hell. Since arriving in our timeline with his legion of cryomancers, Sub-Zero has been unwearying in his pursuit of conquest. The monstrousness of this Sub-Zero's plans are without equal in history. He takes no prisoners, spares no lives, bent as he is on erasing from existence anyone, from any reality, who does not share his Lin Kuei blood. It will take champions like you to turn back Sub-Zero's frigid onslaught. May your combat save all timelines from obliteration. Despite your victories against his minions, Sub-Zero's icy resolve has not been melted. Perhaps defeating him will shatter it. Even in defeat, this dark Sub-Zero proved most intransigent. Given a chance to surrender, he refused to concede, forcing my allies to finish him. Robbed of their Grandmaster's cunning and tactical genius, Sub-Zero's cryomancers quickly fell to pieces. The rout that followed was utterly complete. It will take decades to repair this Cold War's devastation. But as the ice thaws and a new spring begins, I find myself hopeful. Once again, my champions have risen to this timeline's defense. And once again, they have emerged victorious. There once was a Shang Tsung even more ambitious than ours. Having created a Melina hybrid, he decided that she wasn't quite perfect. She needed more intelligence. His intelligence. So he created a new Melina. One with Katana's grace, Tarkatan ferociousness, and the sorcerer's boundless intellect. In the end, she proved his undoing. This new Melina killed her creator, made his flesh pit the hybrid factory, which she uses to construct multitudes exactly like her. Now an army of Ultra Melinas has invaded this timeline. If it is not stopped, we are doomed. Great genius and wanton cruelty are two attributes one hopes not to find in the same being. Unfortunately, Melina has both. If she is not destroyed, she will turn this timeline into her personal hunting ground, and the suffering of its inhabitants will be exquisite. After a bloody, costly battle, the hybrid army was smashed. Its remnants quickly retreated to its timeline of origin. Though the battle was won, the war was not over. The fleeing hybrids were pursued back to their flesh pits. Trapped there, they were obliterated. But even that victory was not total. Some escaped. And they are determined to reconstitute their numbers. Now a squadron travels from timeline to timeline, seeking out these final pockets of resistance. It must find and destroy all of the remaining hybrids. For if even one of these Melinas survives, the realms remain in peril.